quorum. Let's go ahead and get started. Just FYI, I have a drink going around for Officer Miller. Just, because he had served on here for several years, and welcome to Chris now. So
Yeah.
nice to have you on board. We'll go ahead and do introductions. Oh, yeah. I'll call the meeting to order. And go around and do introductions.
My name is Clint Coleman. I'm a member of the committee.
I'm Deanna Baltard, Vice Chairperson.
Jackie Jones, member.
Gary Bryant, member of the committee.
Spencer Pollock, Cambridge Public Works.
Tracy Inslee, Council President, liaison to this commission.
My name is Chris Davis, Canby Police, and new to the traffic position.
Brianna, you want to introduce?
I'm Brianna, Canby Planning Liaison to the Commission.
We have a few people out who are sick, so so luckily we have a quorum to go ahead with the meeting. I was not aware of any citizen input.
We didn't get any of that. I don't know if you heard some.
Just want to make sure. And then for old business, I updated at the last meeting about the parking situation on Southwest 13th. I'll give another update because it's getting worse because softball season is starting. And I would like to recommend that in the yellow areas, we put no parking signs because no one's watching the curb. No one pays attention to the curb. And I'm hoping that maybe by seeing a sign in their face, it'll help. I noticed when I came from the industrial park area today, there's signs all the way showing no parking at any time. And I'm thinking maybe in the yellow area, we can have something where it says no parking. So when you do park, you see something high level. The school basically said that they will try to alert their athletes, the officer that's on campus, let him know if he's on parking there. But the police have just said that to just have people complain to the, well, I've been doing that for a long time and it's hit and miss on it. I just figured if I tell them what time, maybe they could try to get an officer down there around that time, but that's not happening, and it's just gonna get worse as we get closer to summer.
Can reach out to our code enforcement officer, let her know too, just so she can put a little bit of extra emphasis on that area.
Yeah, I put a complaint to her.
Okay.
And she basically said, like I said before, call non-emergency, and I've been doing that, and I'm trying to encourage my neighbors to do it too, because I'm not always home to see it. If I see someone parked there and I'm going for a walk or something, I try to say something, but when I say something, they just kind of like, do something. Yeah, prove that something's gonna happen. So I'm like, fine.
Can I add to that? Did we ever address that parking sign issue where we had the sign and the paint on the curb wasn't matching? Put that a couple months ago. On 13th? Was that was 13th in front of the field?
The other problem with the code enforcement officer angle is she's weekdays 8 to 5-ish, and most of the stuff happens in the evening and weekends. So we need an actual fire to go do parking tickets or something.
Yeah, well, and I kind of told her that I'm seeing it like around 3,
There's
yes.
not one, there's like one more, they don't match up with the other.
I feel like if after a few softball games of several people getting parking tickets, the word will get out to our parents.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But if there's no enforcement, then like you said, they're gonna be like, well, what's gonna happen to me? And they're gonna leave their car there.
And the other day it was bad because, there was somebody parked, even with that no parking sign there, a big truck 2 days in a row when I came home was parked, right in the yellow. And there's a bike lane right there too. I'm concerned because I've seen kids riding their bikes there. It's not all the time, but there's gonna be an accident and, I don't really hope I ever see one, but, it's just gonna get worse before it gets better. And, I was hoping that by, kind of mentioning about the timing, that before the code enforcement officer is off, that she might swing by, but
You said it's primarily around what times?
it's like around, 3:30 to 4 o'clock, I see it primarily.
Those games going on there?
It's, practices and then there'll be games soon.
Put up the parking signs.
So where exactly are you wanting the no parking?
Well, what I was thinking is, where the yellow starts, like maybe put up a sign and then have an arrow pointing. So then they see, okay, no parking in this area. And then right in that other yellow, go ahead and have another one that parks, that shows an arrow this direction. So then they kind of show, okay, this area I can't park in.
Okay, so you want one here
Correct,
and then another one here with arrows pointing towards each other,
correct.
saying no parking those.
So,
Yeah, and
And
probably
parking signs.
with that other section too, where the mailbox, because the other day they, were parked blocking our mailbox.
Really?
Yeah,
That's like old school when people.
Wow.
yeah, so,
You're like, not supposed to park in the mailbox, I learned that when I was learning how to
Yeah.
drive.
and I thought with the yellow, people would know, but people are just oblivious.
Which is mailbox.
Yeah,
I will say that when it comes to actually trying to put up preventative parking measures, signs are the least efficient and yellow curb is the most efficient. So putting up a sign, I mean, we could go put signs every 3 feet and it makes no difference than the yellow curb for compliance.
yeah.
But if that's what
Well,
this group wants,
I'm just saying maybe it would be helpful to have up the signs and, I'm not afraid to call non-emergency 24/7 if I have to, but, I want to see something happen and I'm gonna be reaching out to my neighbors to help with, trying to get this done because, coming out of the loop is very awkward when someone's right up to the edge of the road. And Burke Parkway is like a freeway now because, or like a highway, because 99E, they just go as fast as they can. I mean, they're going, it's 25 and they're going 35, 40 on 13. Because they're in a hurry to get home and there's a big stretch of, oh, I got a ways to go till a stop sign.
Has traffic decreased a little bit since the construction on 99 is done? I know there was an influx because people were rerouting. Are they still rerouting because they found a better way?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for you guys.
Especially with them still doing construction on Ivy,
Mhm.
and people that have been going
They're
to
just
far south side of town have been still taking Bird Parkway and 13.
Yeah, but just with how the school property is where they don't have a lot or anywhere over by the softball field, everyone tries to park on the street or they've been using the Mormon parking lot, which has been great, except for on Sundays they don't because of church, but, the Mormon parking lot has been allowing people to park there, so a lot of people are starting to use that more, but I'm just noticing a lot of people, even though it's yellow, they're like, oh, I park here, who's gonna do something? So.
Okay, interrupt for a second.
Mhm.
Can we back up and do the review and approval of minutes
Oh, okay,
when you're finished with it?
so, that's all I have for that. So. Yeah, has everyone had a chance to review, the minutes, and can somebody, vote to approve it for, February 12th meeting?
I move that we approve the minutes for the February 12th, 2025 meeting.
I would like to, abstain.
I second that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then the vote.
Oh, yeah. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Any abstentions? Any abstentions?
Oh, that's it, because I was only there for 20 minutes, so I didn't.
So for the record, Clint, your vote is 3-0-1.
Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah, she was only here for a little bit.
Liaison/parliamentary.
Okay.
Okay, so if we can, I'd like to put a motion that we, get parking signs for the area in the yellow on Southwest 13th.
Actually, the chair can't do that, so, I'll move that we, isn't that right, Tracy? When she's acting chair, could she make motions?
She can make a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question first?
Sure.
If we put the signs in and then Deanna says, oh, this isn't making any difference, can they be removed if they want them to? Is that a hard thing to do?
Not necessarily, but looking at this, my biggest fear is sign clutter through here.
Yeah.
This tree for where the yellow is, there's nowhere that we could put a sign and have it be visible.
No.
We can tuck one in there, but unless you're looking for it, you're not going to see it unless this tree is cut back a whole bunch. And then we've got the school sign that we contend with. And as all of you know, I like to try to keep signs as spaced out as possible, not to have them all right in one spot. But as far as, here, it would just be a matter of keeping it off the curb line far enough. It would just be up to HOA, which I know you're a part of, is if they want to mow around the signposts for your landscaper.
Our landscaper should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it would be the same here, with our.
The arborvitae are gone.
Yes.
The city is only gone.
We don't want to walk through there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just find that people aren't seeing the yellow or just purposely avoiding it. I figure if they got something by eye contact and,
Or forgot what yellow tree means.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe just one side of that grassy area that says no parking at yellow curbs.
Well, then. Signage would be an informational sign.
Informational sign.
It does have, we can't just make whatever signs we want. We have to follow
It's just a thought.
So putting 25-mile-per-hour signs on every telephone goes down the highway and all that, it's totally out of the question, right?
It is not totally out of the question, but you would gain less results.
Weight limit signs for trucks going across Nice Bridge.
So,
So
yeah.
you made a motion, I'm sorry. You had a question. Did your question get answered?
Yeah, so do I second the motion?
Can you repeat your motion?
Yeah, so I'd like to have, no parking signs marking on the yellow at Southwest 13th Avenue near around where the softball fields and the, across from Ratcliffe House.
Okay. And then you seconded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live down the street, I guess we should be.
You want to take a vote?
And then can we go ahead and vote on the, having the signs added? Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes.
Can I weigh in on the next item?
Yep.
At Southwest Third, it's over by Jenny, and, I noticed those two little cars are still there, they got their tags on them. Do you have any update on that, Tracy?
The last I heard was from our last meeting, Chris Ann said that they were gonna be towed by the end of that week, and now that's almost a month ago, so I don't have an update.
Okay.
I'm just,
Oh, and then one of the,
Missed it last week too and wondered, and all the junk in the
yeah,
lot
it
too.
was also needs to be taken care of now, I'm not sure, what happened. So, I guess, I can call Chris Ann today if I know that, because it's supposed to have been done a month ago.
Thank you very much, I'd be
Yeah.
appreciative.
Tracy, with your capacity with the chamber, who's the liaison to the county itself? When do they have meetings? When does the county get it?
County Board of Commissioners, they meet
Well,
every Thursday morning.
Like the load restrictions on.
Oh, the
bike
county,
spaces,
traffic safety.
Well, this dead horse we're beating up on all the time, but it's not getting any better. And we have trucks coming right through the neighborhoods, it's still going on. Where's our daddy, where they need them?
So, we don't have a liaison to the county that I'm aware of, we had some interest, I don't know, are you going to the meetings?
No, I have, I can start going again since they're in the evening.
Okay,
When do they have it?
It's, I want to say Wednesday at 7, but it's been a while.
No, I thought you were,
Oh, well, this is something different.
oh,
okay, so track meeting. So you'll start going to those then? Okay.
Finally.
Say 7 P.M. then on Thursday.
I'm gonna have to double check.
Social media.
so, is there any update on use of the media for education on traffic safety? I know in the future, I'd like to do something about, crosswalk, like with a pedestrian or something. I think we need to do, something to remind people, yeah, of things I saw on Facebook, and I also put in a complaint and haven't gotten a feedback back from the police on it. But Knightsbridge Road and Grant, there's people running the stop signs. And one boy has been hit nearly 3 times after getting off the bus. I'm not sure if he's getting off a school bus, the Canby area bus, or what type of bus, but he's been hit nearly 3 times. And so, I commented to some people asking what to do on traffic safety page, and I told them you can complain to the police department, and I told them that I would put a thing out, and I need to reiterate on my last email to the police because I never did hear back within the time frame. So I wanted to find out from them if they've seen anything or been able to do any patrol over there, and that was around the 3 to 4-ish.
I do know that that was one of the traffic complaints that Officer Miller has responded to for a while. I know he had sat there a couple different points, just to see if he observed any violations. We also have quite a bit of money for our pedestrian safety grant that we receive. So typically during like the spring and the summer, once it starts getting nicer outside, we'll do a couple operations where we have just pedestrian enforcement, and we post as an overtime option for people. So I can pass that along to our traffic sergeant as well and see if we can incorporate that intersection when we do that.
Yeah, no, that'd be great because Jackie and I started a Facebook group where we try to alert people of, like, when it was snowing, just telling them about the road conditions and different things like that, or school closures or whatever. And then also trying to alert if there's an accident or something, like if something's going on 99E with a traffic collision, hey, avoid this area, go this way or whatever. But I know with Officer Miller, he would meet with Jackie and I on occasion to kind of talk about things with the, group, and that might be something that we can do with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I could add one other thing, Spencer, if I could have you email me the report on Southwest Third, the speed data, then what I'll do is I'll break it down and get it to Gals
Okay.
for your post.
Sounds good.
And if we wanted to, I could hold up right here real quick. So this was some of the highlights from the speed data for the third one, this last go around.
This was from what period to what period?
It would have been January 23rd through February 7th.
That's posted as 25 miles an hour, right?
Correct.
And what was the actual location on Southwest Third of this?
This was. No,
Now.
I'll look for it next time.
Oh, I haven't zoomed out too far. I believe this one was kind of across from the church parking lot.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
know,
Never had asked for it to be down at that end. The average speed was 24 miles an hour,
okay.
and the 85th percentile was 28.
Then do you know the total number of cars,
The total number
period of time?
was
Oh, wow.
23,272.
Max speed 56.
Wow.
So it looks like there's one bad actor maybe.
Wow, that's a bad actor. That'd be expensive.
We kind of do one.
Oh, I
Whoa.
think Spencer, that'll give me.
I will email you the full thing.
Generally, that's not a speeding problem street.
No.
But it would be nice to know what time of day it is. It's 10 mile an hour.
That'd be smart.
I'm scared to do all this. I don't know, at 223 feet, yeah. It's probably somebody getting out of school, a high school.
We did have an issue with somebody on a motorcycle who's riding home from work that took that route almost every night that we eventually were able to contact after a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was who it was.
Yeah, it doesn't say what kind of vehicle, but it is.
No, it is.
Could have been a motorcycle.
Any new business?
None was brought to our attention, so that's why it's blank on the
Yeah.
agenda, but I figured you might have some
Oh, yeah.
in your minds.
The one traffic safety issue, beyond the post office, down in that little neighborhood where you drop down the hill.
Yeah, that's
Um,
states.
Do we know the status of that,
Oh, yeah, good question.
Situation.
Got dropped.
because those poor people,
Speed reduction. Oh, that's great.
it seemed like an exception was gonna be made in their area because they had those rolled up curbs or something.
Council had asked for this group to work on coming up with criteria so that it could be applied across,
Yeah.
and not that we didn't have someone from every block coming and asking
Okay.
for a speed reduction.
And Eric and Brianna were working on that.
I
Brianna,
was gonna say Brianna, myself, Bob worked on it for a while.
do you have the notes? Please tell me the note in there.
Bob Camber might have had the best notes as of last.
Okay.
I don't know how much of it he passed on to Eric.
Have a chocolate.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, because Connie hasn't.
Got back to you.
I don't want to push her, you know,
Right.
she's got a lot she's doing right now. I will circle back, it's been over a month, but I was trying to give her time to get through stuff. But yeah, we do need to,
I have an email from Bob with a draft from May of last year that I can send to everyone.
Well,
okay, yeah, we need to pick that back up and.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, that would be good to get that completed.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that all got dropped, because we've been looking at it every month for a while.
No.
You refer to that neighborhood as?
Darcy Estate.
Darcy Estates. Darcy, or if you've really been.
Really, you're a long time.
Okay, so now to city staff reports. So Chris, you guys start us off with the police department.
So in February, total of 203 traffic citations were issued, had 8 total DUI arrests. Separate from that, we had 8 arrests related to traffic crimes, think of as misdemeanor, felony, reckless driving, things like that. We had a total of 12 crashes, 3 of which were injury-related crashes. And we had 7 total traffic complaints. I'm not entirely sure of the details, what specifically those traffic complaints were in regards to, other than one that we received for the area of South Knott and Southwest Second or Southeast Second. And there was complaints about people frequently driving past the school buses while they were picking up kids in that intersection. So 2 out of the last 3 days I've sat pretty much followed the school bus throughout its route through that neighborhood. I just happened to time it just right so that the CAT transit is also coming in the opposing direction, for being able to go around if they wanted to, but if nothing else, they saw that we were present. So
Nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any questions for Chris?
But, well, in my own neighborhood, it was late at night, I didn't document the time, but about 10:30 at Grant and 10th, about 6 cop cars there, and take around the car that was pulled over with like, I don't know, drug bust or.
do you remember when this was?
I wish I had documented it, I guess it just happened in my neighborhood. What's going on here? That's all. I didn't know if you had a drug bust or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't ring any bells off the top of my head, but if you remember what area range of time it was around, I can try to look it up. for the next meeting.
About 10:30 at night, it was a, well, I said Grant and 10th. There was a lot of activity, it surprised me.
Yeah.
So I have a question to ask.
Mhm.
So I guess we have the date now. There was a bad accident on Southwest 13th, December 20th last year. They closed down the road for a while. I'm imagining it might have been a DUI. Is my guess.
Probably.
No. But it just really messed up traffic for like 4 or 5 hours. So I was
Is
just
that
curious.
what time of the day or night?
It was at night,
You said it was on what day?
December 20th, 2024.
We want to get back to it. I can try and
I
find
mean, there's
it.
a little rush. I
No,
was curious. When your neighborhood's like, I mean, we were all standing outside. I heard somebody yell and then I went out of my house. You can hear it. I was just getting into my car. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go.
At least you weren't trying to come home.
there it is, right there. Doesn't look like it was DUI related. Sounds like one of the vehicles was driving without headlights.
Ah,
And
it's good to squash those neighborhood rumors. I know.
Is that a common occurrence, having to track down people that are driving without their lights on, or?
If it is that case, it seems like more often than not, it's impairment related, especially at night. Most people, it's pretty obvious when your headlights aren't on unless there's something else going on. But yeah, we deal with it semi-often. Every once in a while, it'll be someone realizes that 10 seconds onto the road. But on 99, especially at night, just because it's more lit than a lot of the other streets, you can go a while without realizing they're not on. But not typically in the side streets when I was working at night anyway. But it happens.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So now Spencer with Public Works.
So a couple of updates, council approved the 10th Avenue improvements, we're getting contracts signed, and it sounds like the company's wanting to get started as soon as possible, so that could be happening before the end of this month at 10th Avenue. We start with probably replacing the sewer, so we're kind of planning on the next, now until October, 10th Avenue being one way or another under construction, similar to Eddy Street. There will be some rolling block closures throughout times. And so those.
Well, let's start down your time and kind of work up.
I haven't had a meeting with the contractor yet to decide which way they wanted to start from. But I don't know.
Will that incorporate not only a repave, but sidewalks?
Yes,
And then when you put in sidewalks where suitable, will you incorporate crosswalks where you deem appropriate?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully that will be done. We're shooting for a completion date in October.
Wow, that's
Nice.
great.
And then also to go with that is I was actually able to get a hold of Clackamas County for the Knights Bridge. And it turns out that it was a very coincidence that I got a hold of the project manager on that day, because it was the day that they decided to award a contract to a contractor for doing the work there.
Oh,
So
so there's a contractor on board now.
there's a contractor on board. We did not have a start date for sure, because like that was the day that they decided they were awarding the contract. But he is thinking end of April or May is when they would start the project. And they are anticipating a 4-month closure of the bridge.
That's rather than 6 that told us before.
Mhm.
Whole
Yeah, the whole
summer.
whole thing will be closed.
We're gonna get all those 80,000 pound trucks cut. And they can't-
To
There's
close
a-
the road down at Barlow,
I
then
know,
be
I
like
know.
local traffic only.
That's where the stop sign stopped over, where one truck backed up and said,
Yeah.
Barlow Road, or another stop sign. Yeah, this is my, you know,
I-
this is my pet peeve.
So it is going to be posted as the bridge is closed, through traffic. But there are houses down there, so they can't do a hard closure.
Right, that's what I was thinking, you have to do that barricade, local traffic. only.
But they are putting actual concrete.
Okay.
So there's no
It is-
driving.
Right, it'll be interesting to see if the truck can back up.
We probably will. Um, There's only so much you can do. So yeah, that is also going to be closed, so
I think that's also-
that, county park. Then I don't know about what the growth. The county is going to be closing it because they're using that as the staging area. And they don't want people out in the plane.
Right, okay, this is, I'll announce this on council meetings now until.
Yeah, I was on social media. And also if I'm gonna restrict like your rowboats or your rock. like-
I don't know any of that.
I don't want any.
Even when I'm in the bridge.
It is posted on their traffic control plan as, says. So
Well, when you get a start date,
when I get a start date, I will let you know. I don't know what else I had.
Oh, let's make everybody happy, since Ivy's messed up and now we're gonna post it.
Yep. That was my biggest thing.
Does that county park have a name or is it just county park? Next bridge.
Jerry did a traffic count of how much roll there is over that bridge on a daily basis.
I'm sure the county has those numbers. I haven't.
Do you know if I could ask you a question? It feels like along territorial, and it goes, what Gary's talking about, we've seen a lot more 18-wheeler truck going through there, and I just wondered, what that might be caused from? Is Google suggesting they go that way, or?
It could be, so you're talking territorial and where?
You know, come off of 99 and then they'll turn right onto territorial and, you know, I just don't know where some of these trucks go. Yesterday, one was a car hauler, must have had 8 cars on it. They weren't new cars. And then some, I imagine, go to the Monacuco farm and then I imagine some are delivery trucks that go downtown to deliver foodstuffs and different things. It just seemed like lately we've had a lot more big truck traffic.
Yeah, I don't know for sure where the extra traffic for territorial would be coming from.
And then one last question. Sometimes businesses will put their signs on telephone poles. Do we just report that to you guys if we, I mean, because some of them are up high enough. It's kind of,
Technically, poles, power poles or telephone poles or whatever, are not supposed to have anything on them
yeah.
that would go, I think, more to that kind of utility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can have an ordinance that says
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Does anybody watch the truck that delivers ice cream to the old city hall? I mean, right down Second Street,
Wow.
up Ivy, back down.
Oh, I think you talked about that last time.
I mean, that's just a small example of the things that go on around here that people want to work.
Yeah.
This thing with Rice Bridge is getting a real mess.
Yeah, well,
Well, maybe in 4 months' time, the truckers will find the right route.
You're talking about a turnover of 1 a day in the industry.
So now Brianna with Canby Planning, do you have anything to share?
I do. On Monday, Planning Commission approved 2 projects. One was a 16 lot R1 low density residential subdivision. This was, I can actually share my screen here. Maybe. Hold on one second. Let's see. Okay. You guys can see this? So this is north side of town here. So this parcel right here, which was already in the UGB, was recently annexed. So this is going to be low density residential subdivision. It's going to have a street going through, emergency turnaround. None of this is proposed or slated for any sort of development. It's not even within the city. So we're not expecting this area to quickly expand or anything, but this is where the subdivision is going. And this is all Dodds. This is kind of an old screenshot, but this is Dodds. So you can kind of see how it does kind of connect to us here. So that was approved. And then also within that same area, Canby Adult Center will be moving to the Canby United Methodist Church here. They said that that would happen over the next year or so. So it's not going to be one day jump or anything, but they have been approved to move from their south side location on Ivy to their new north side location here with the church. And the church will still be operating. And so will the daycare. So, you know, you may see some new activity happening there. So Planning Commission approved both of those projects. And I know she's not here, but I did want to commend Jenny, Commissioner Driscoll, Planning Commissioner Driscoll, on her questions during those project reviews. She asked a lot of really good traffic related questions and brought a lot of good knowledge that actually I think did come specifically from being on the Traffic Safety Committee as well. So I'll mention that next month when she's here again, but I just did want to shout her out. I think she brought a lot of knowledge. So I did appreciate that. I was actually the presenter for the Adult Center. So that is my big update.
Thank you very much.
Nice, thank you for sharing that. And one question I have for you is there's a subdivision on 10th Street over by the St. Patrick's Day Church or St. Patrick's Day. And I'm just curious, it looks like there's 2 lots that have sold. Is there any idea of when those homes are gonna be started?
I think that's Northwoods Phase 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that would be it, yeah. It's like South Cedar Loop or North Cedar Loop and some other, streets over there. I'm just kind of curious as to what's going on. Yeah.
Street has everything. That's what it was in city vacant.
For quite a while. Yeah, my mom's across the street from it.
I see one site plan application did come in at the end of January. Hasn't been approved yet, it doesn't look like. So let's see, 735 Northwest Cedar Loop. So it does look like they have a plan to develop that in the short term. They need to get their site plan approval. And I don't see a second lot listed here for 2025. So that second lot probably hasn't come in yet. But if it's been sold, we'll probably see it soon.
Okay, sounds good. Just curious. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is Tracy with City Council.
Well, I don't have a lot to report. We're meeting like every week now, right? It's a lot of work sessions to get through. Nothing that really affects this group too much. I will say though, if you missed it, the mayor did a State of the City address 3 times now. Once for the Rotary, once for the Chamber, but he did one last night at City Hall that should be on the YouTube channel. So if you missed it, you can go watch the State of the City. Otherwise, that's all I have. Unless you have questions.
Do you know, and this kind of goes between you and Brianna, but any news on the old Kenny rental location, what might happen there?
The last I heard, they still own the building and have no plan themselves to do what to do with it yet.
And then across the street from them, that, well, what used to be the Elm Street Inn is on the market.
Oh, is it? It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Any plans for that?
Oh, that's a good react question, because I didn't even notice that it wasn't still
This is
there when I saw it.
It's been like a few weeks now. I've seen it.
Oh, you know,
Yeah, I
that-
wasn't aware either. No, I wasn't aware. I'll check to see if anyone has applied for it, but I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
just
notice
something
that.
about can be for a restaurant or a medical place or something.
yeah,
So
it's
kind
on
of
the hard to
curious.
go to find the restaurants. But anyway. But I didn't know that the therapy place moved out of there. No. Okay.
I was
I looked
surprised
down, I
too.
looked around. I don't like that intersection, so I avoided it.
Well,
If anyone's wondering, the new Mexican place where Wayward was,
That's good.
how about the parking situation with the food carts along, 3rd Street, is it? Is it, they park there all day long, people that are probably working at the food carts, and nobody else can park. So there's a lot of disgruntled people.
yeah, I can see that. That would be a conversation for Bryce, I think. You can meet with the owner of the Garden City Brewing and have him talk to his leasers, his people who rent from him.
I do know that economic development is going to pursue a downtown parking study and plan. This may be a little controversial what I'm about to say, and this isn't coming from anything they're doing, it's just something kind of in the background of my mind. If specifically we're worried about folks parking there all day, there are time limit signs that can be put up very strategically in very, some certain locations. So that may be something that may come out of the study. Again, I'm not part of the study at this point, but I do, especially in downtown areas where folks are supposed to be kind of turning over, that is a possible strategy. So just because you brought it up specifically about the length of them being there. So if Jamie and Tyler ask me to help on that, I would be happy to.
Great. This has been a subject we've talked about for years on the council. This is the perennial conversation. So the downtown parking, I'm not opposed to signage or time limitations. You'll never get a vote from me on parking meters, however. But I don't have a problem with pushing the 10-hour plus to other end of town and having the downtown parking limited to a few hours. I mean, someone wants to come have dinner, but if the guy is cooking your dinner is taking your parking spot, that's hard to deal with. So the apartments, yeah. Well, the apartments, that's a whole other animal, but,
We just don't talk about one-way streets.
well.
If we're going back,
I'm going to post my second and third on Southeast.
So, now to board members' reports. So, for me, I had a person, saw me at the store and mentioned about Ivy Street and 13th and the turn lanes on 13th to get onto Ivy. They are somebody that lives in Hope Village and they go Ivy all the time. I told them, I said, this is why I use Elm, because of the 13th light with being turned on to Ivy. Is there a chance that the county will let the city have it where we can have it give a turn instead of being a yield all the time?
did we talk about a dedicated?
We've talked about a dedicated turn lane,
On which road?
On Ivy and 13th.
Oh, isn't Jerry already working with the county on that?
we've been working with the county on that. The county really hasn't shown a whole lot of interest in pursuing it quickly because once the Ivy Street project is done, then the city's taking over the road. So the county is more or less say, yeah, we can do it, but we'll probably do it once you guys take over the road and then you guys can do it. So it will happen, but it, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to do it. It's on this.
Okay, I told the lady that I thought was county related, but I wanted to, find out. So thank you very much. And then, yeah, I guess that is it. And then, Gary.
Oh, might as well say, well, I did talk to a commercial, state trooper at Scales, not regarding, but it was unrelated to what we're doing here. But I did ask them about the commercial vehicles and the situation. And she was telling me that in, Marion County, down around Corvallis, there's a bridge and it has a restriction, but it's not enforced on one side of the bridge because that's a different county. It's enforced on the other side of the bridge with that's a money machine, all the times, all the revenue. Our nice bridge is a nightmare. I don't care, you people don't, I mean, unless you have a truck parked right in front of your house and the guy's scratching his head, to figure out where do I go now? Well, how do I find this location? This is the county. When we're back to the county, we gotta drop this into their pocket and get some, get some positive feedback, not just keep pushing it to next week. I'm tired. I don't.
Well,
Spencer knows my patience.
one thing is, once they finish with their bridge project, then that does open it back up as a truck route.
Okay, but it's still restricted weights.
It's restricted rates right now.
So it's gonna be 80,000 pound limit on the nice bridge.
I don't know what the new rating is going to be.
That's, we need to find out.
So it's always been a truck route. They still get down the weight rating down because of the condition of the bridge. Once that's over with, then it opens it back up.
But it's ignored.
It is ignored right now.
It's ignored. And, it's unfortunate because Canby still is a difficult community to get a truck, commercial vehicle. Okay, that's me. That's all I have to offer.
Okay, and next, Clint.
Yeah, I just have a question. I'll ask this to Tracy. From a traffic safety standpoint, even though this is outside the city limits, I really think that there should be a stoplight at 99 and South Bend Road. And so my question is, if I seek out and gather the crash data for that intersection, and I bring it here and make my presentation, and we make a motion to, so we can be approved. What would you do with that? Then you take that, does that have anything to wing at all?
Well, Council Davis and I have talked about the intersection a number of times because it is a hazard, as we all know. It has it's been a crash hazard for years and years. And they put up all the little things and they get knocked down and it's not working what they're doing. And we discussed a light there, but it is outside the city limits, so we really don't have jurisdiction. But what we could do is, with the especially with the recommendation from this group, we can have a conversation with the DCC and see if we can get the county commissioners on board. And then together, we have to go to ODOT.
But if I had
This is an
that
ODOT.
crash data, it would help a lot.
That would help figure out the ways and means to get that.
Build my case for that one.
Okay, yeah, because it's kind of in that conundrum where it's outside city limits, it's in the county, but it's an ODOT highway. So we would have to partner with the Board of County Commissioners. I think that would be the most weighted path. If we fail there, we didn't work.
The question I had was, I'm sure this has to get approved by ODOT, but you know how down there, same location, 99 and South End Road, I think they put in those little half moons, they just stick to the asphalt.
Yeah,
Well, like, for example, one area in Canby that I think those would be really handy is, if, let's say you're on 99, you get in the turning lane to turn onto North Ivy, and you're the first car, and the car is coming from Sequoia, just climb over your hood to take that turn. And it just seemed like if we had a couple of those cushions right at the end as a buffer, that would let those cars that are coming around know.
on which one? On,
So if
you're
you're,
at Ivy and Sequoia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You mean Redwood?
yes, okay, so.
'Cause I know what I'm.
The cars that
looking
The cars that I'm referring to are maybe coming from Boco or from Finlire.
Yeah,
They're coming off of Sequoia and they're turning on to 99.
crossing
heading
Redwood, yeah.
south. And so the car that's in the turning lane to go on the North Redwood,
There used to be.
practically getting hit whereby the cars are taking the corner. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I've just.
So you're saying if you're sitting here in the turn lane?
Yes.
They want to take your
That's
nose off every time.
Yeah, they'll practically climb over that straight line.
We're talking about 99 on Pine here?
No,
Redwood, no,
turning off of.
they're coming over there and they're sweeping around here.
That's true over there. There's the one semi flop over right there, so how fast do you need to go to get around that turn? And of course, the lanes do come together. I thought there was an island there.
There is.
It's like, 50, yeah.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Yeah, but they do, I mean, I sit at that light every day, because I live down Redwood.
So you know about the
And,
problem.
oh, I know,
Yeah.
I can get my car every time I sit.
Yeah.
So,
My only question would be,
Yes.
has there been an accident or a collision there?
I can only think of one,
For that specific thing, if somebody's
yeah,
turning,
and
okay.
it was 6-8 months ago, and it was a DUI, so I feel like that's kind of an outlier.
Okay.
But,
Because I mean, I will agree that it does seem like people are getting close. But for how many people make that turn every day, if we don't have any, if we're trying to solve a problem that maybe.
And then one last thing, so when
How
I
many
do,
times I hit my horn count that bad?
when I do that, get that crash data, I'll ask them about those. But then one other thing I wanted to share, since when I'm out driving around other neighborhoods, other communities, I'll observe traffic safety measures. And then if I think they're kind of clever, I might bring them back to the group. So one is an example, I was going through Charbonneau, and you know, Charbonneau, one of their drawbacks is they don't have any sidewalks really to speak of for pets. And that one of the things that they had that I thought was worthy of your attention was they had this, they had one stripe going out into the road. It wasn't a crosswalk, but it was a stripe that went out into the road. And then the sign basically had a picture of a pet walking, and it said stop when you've got a pet walking. So it wasn't the extreme of a crosswalk, but you definitely got the idea that if there was a pet in the area that wanted to cross, you guys stay behind that line. And the next time you're over in Charbonneau, have a look at that. I just wondered, you know, because some areas of our community, maybe a crosswalk's not practical, but having that in the toolbox might be an idea. So I just wanted.
It gets your attention, because you come up with that stop sign, And I automatically, when I first started
You're more
seeing that, I
cautious.
said, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put somebody out there, and then you continue on, but it is an attention getter.
Yeah.
Yeah, very familiar.
That's how I like it. Yeah.
One thing I haven't been able to share yet is that months ago, I got invited from Clackamas County to join their Clackamas County task force for
Yes.
making the road safer. So I went to that meeting in January. It was like an all-day thing. You guys are Ross Dusky.
Yeah, he's come here before.
Yeah, so he invited me. It's my other work that I do, prevention. He thought, in traffic safety, what other prevention work that I do. Good for me to go, and it's a real challenge trying to explain to people that do not live in Canby how unique it is. Like, because some of their solutions, like, we'll just take an Uber. I'm like, we've talked about that here. We're in Canby, we're 10 miles from anywhere. It's,
We don't really have a lot of Ubers around here. It's really hard to do taxis.
exactly. And if you take a taxi, that's a $200.
Right, you gotta first pay to have the taxi get out here to us.
Yeah. So I tried to did my best. I think we're gonna have more meetings if anybody else wants to see if they can join me. That'd be great to have a more just my voice. Because I kept trying to tell them like,
Hey, if you let us know, we may very well pick you up on it.
So that's different from the meeting they have on the first.
yeah,
Thursday?
this is an advisory task
This is a
force.
task force.
Yeah. So there's, I guess apparently I got some money to, basically it's to help design safer roads, prevent injuries, enhance post-crash response, strengthen law enforcement, substance use and accidents and how we can make that better, public health, engagement, safety and land use planning. So it's,
There's a certain amount of time each person has to address this committee and voice the concern.
it was like we had break up into groups and they gave me to talk about different subjects. It wasn't what I thought. I mean, I came there with all my notes, but maybe down the road I'll go to at least stand up for DMV.
Where you are.
I did my best. And then, what else? So basically, a lot more meetings I'll keep sharing. That was just kind of like an orientation. This is what we're gonna be doing. We're just trying to like look long-term, like our traffic advisory, a 10-year plan. Trying to plan ahead, how to, down the road, and also trying to get more people out of their cars and, transit. And it's challenging, it can't be like, but it's gonna take a long time if you wanna get on a bus, bike. And then the other thing I had was that I go for a walk. From my house, I live on Southwest 13, and I walk down to like, either meet up with a friend down the road by the shopping center down there. And I crosswalk at the high school, at Fields. Nobody wants to stop there, so I don't know, is there a crosswalk? I mean, I safely did my best to kind of put my feet up, because.
Making sure they can see you before.
Yeah, car after car.
I know when we've done it in the past, that has been one of the ones that's been really focused on, so I'll make sure that it is again when we do the next crosswalk enforcement detail.
I'm just fascinated, because.
I think part of the reason is because people come around the corner there on 13 so fast that they're either looking through the corner or they're distracted with something else, and then by the time they realize there's a crosswalk, they're already either going too fast or, so we do get quite a bit of, I know our SROs have been, when they have free time, they've been doing a little bit more traffic enforcement on 13th lately too.
I've seen this.
So, but I'll pass that along.
Yeah, because after high school, the kids like that.
Yep.
Oh, that might be something we could look at, Spencer, for that lighting, where you could push, I don't know if that would help.
Turning that into a lighted crossing. It possibly could. I don't try to think on what the downside is.
Yeah, I mean, nice to have it, because I know, for me, when I've gone for walks with my mom, I always tell my mom to wait, and I'll start going out, and, I'll get out there, and the car doesn't have a choice, but I try to wait till they motion, because there is a lot of just traffic of, what are you trying to do? And I'm like, Mom, stay back, I don't wanna have her try to get out.
And then I,
Confused. Exactly what intersection you're talking Been to the high school, let's.
Southwest 13. You know, it's for that.
Oh, okay. That butts up to that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, all right, all right.
and
It's about,
we talked about the no parking signs before, remember that signs didn't light up with the curb painting? It's like, you can see right there, that sign,
This one,
yeah, and I think it's right now, I don't know how old this picture is.
this one looks like last summer.
So there's signs up now that don't match up with the painting. You guys were gonna go check.
Or to go. There's this
That
one
one, this
here.
one is more south. Yeah, right past that yellow sign, yeah. And there's like painting on the curb and the sign, don't, you know,
What it,
yeah, it's like.
exact location of it or what the sign is saying.
Doesn't make sense to paint a curb. That makes sense. I had somebody complaining to me like, I'm confused by the sign and the curb, they don't line up.
I will,
And then the only other thing I can also, speaking of our crosswalk concerns, I'll make sure I don't know if you're aware, we did a PSA, years ago with, Officer Makeup. And on crosswalk safety with the fire department.
Okay.
And I'll make sure, it's still on YouTube somewhere. Then, one thing is that, I guess Tia and I were busy with code enforcement this week, because we also made a couple parking complaints. That actually ended up with my neighbor having to move his van, but he actually just got rid of it. He's had his van not moved for a while.
Whereabouts?
Southwest 13, between, Elm and Fir.
Okay.
And then I called her about a truck that's in front of my house right now, that's been there now almost 2 weeks.
Is it the semi truck with the flatbed trailer?
No, that's usually farther down. No, I'm
Is it Element for?
between Elm and Fir. I called her, about the Chevy, and she's taking care of that one. It's the overflow from the trailer park. It's, I mean, I know it's a public street, but we parked there for days on end. So if you have company coming, you want to try to squeeze your car just on the streets, and look, people have this to park. So that's the only reason that it's when, you know, when it's in front of your house, that's why you're annoyed. If anybody's watching.
okay, so if that's it, we'll adjourn the meeting at 9:34.
34,
And the next meeting is,
April 9th.
April 9th at 8:30 a.m.
Right. Hi, everyone.
Uh,